Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back once again to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today we're going to be taking a look at STOL, or short takeoff or landing aircraft, and what it takes to do a proper STOL takeoff or proper STOL landing at near zero, or if you're really good, zero ground speed. You're gonna have to have pretty good wind conditions. There are video clips out there of people doing zero ground speed takeoffs and landings where the airplane basically hovers, for lack of a better term, in the air, and you just touch down, and that's the end of it. Almost kind of like a helicopter, although fun fact, most helicopters have a small amount of forward speed when landing just to keep things stable. There's exceptions, obviously, but anyway, we're in the default Shock Ultra from Flight Sim. We're going to be taking a look at this airplane, the Savage Gravel mod, and then we're also going to be taking a look at the Cub, and we'll take a look at the Carbon Cub too. Those are all STOL airplanes, and see what we can do. There's a player out there in a generic, just chilling. Maybe he's got a boat or something. Oh, he's probably got some Icon mod of some kind. I don't know. Anyway, some amphibious airplane that I don't have installed. Nonetheless, let's begin the video. I'm going to go ahead. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put one notch of flaps in, which on this airplane, the flaps are actually handle actuated. It's this handle up here. So as quickly as you move that handle, that's how quick your flaps are going to move. So pretty quick reacting flaps, which is nice, a lot faster than electronic ones, but obviously you physically have to move that handle against whatever winds you're fighting. We'll retract the flaps. We'll taxi forward a little bit here. And you can see we've got a pretty strong headwind. How strong, you ask? Well, let's go to the weather tab here. Obviously, we're not doing live weather. I have a consistent wind of 16 knots blowing down our runway. And just for a little bit of variation, I put some gusting winds in there too. Just to, I don't know, add a little bit to the situation. So, first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna apply full brakes, that one notch of flaps in, and then this is all gonna happen very quickly, so I'm gonna explain it before we actually commit to it. I'm gonna push our elevator full down to get the nose into the air, like that. We'll throttle up. Then once we've throttled up, I'm going to go ahead and pull the elevator to neutral, or let the elevator fall to neutral. And then once we're at full RPMs on the engine, which will only take a couple of seconds, we're going to gently pull back, and we're going to be in this 3-point position here. And the whole aircraft should, emphasis on should, take off where it's standing. Now, if that doesn't happen, we'll let the brakes out. The airplane will probably roll forward a little bit, maybe a foot or two before we're airborne. So, in practice, elevator down, throttle up. And just like that, we're in the air. Now landing is the same except opposite. I'm gonna actually go no toe brakes. We're gonna go full flaps. And we're gonna start pulling power out and nosing down to the ground here. We're actually flying backwards right now at negative ground speed, which I've done in a 172 before, at a much higher altitude than this. There you go, zero ground speed takeoff and landing. Let's get those flaps retracted so we stop blowing backwards. And it's quite literally that simple. You can do it down the whole length of the runway. We're at Stewart Airport in Alaska, just for the scenery's sake. Let's get lined up with the runway again. We're actually got airborne there. So with these strong winds, we should be able to do a 3-point takeoff. Let's go ahead and give it a try. Full throttle. Yep, no forward movement whatsoever. Let's show you that again. We'll go full flaps. Oh, no. All right, a little bit of a ground loopage action. So we'll get pointed into the wind again. Oh, maybe not that much into the wind. Help. Slow mode, thank you. And we'll get pointed back down the runway. And let's do a Is there a side view of the wheels? Yeah, kind of. I guess that's as good as we're gonna get. So in practice again, you can see I've got all my controls still brakes on. One notch of flaps. And with zero movement whatsoever off the ground, we're in the air. Now this is a lot harder to do from this view, but we should... Oh, we're dead. Okay, and prop strike and death. Okay. Excuse me. Let's go ahead and switch airplanes now to the Savage Gravel. Same airport, similar wind settings. I'll go ahead and load that up, and I will be back in just a bit. Let's go flaps up, flaps 1, flaps 2. Very nicely aligned with our runway. We'll try this one from the outside. I'm going to leave the elevator neutral. The gravel, because of the torque it produces, kind of pulls the nose up anyway, or pulls the nose down anyway. So we're going to leave elevator neutral. And just like that, we're airborne. There's a very brightly colored 150. And we're flaps to full, and we'll coast the airplane in. Just riding that stall horn, just barely riding that stall horn. We're dead, wing strike. Come on down. I'm determined to get this. Okay, one more time, brakes on, powerful, airborne. Get a little lower. So yeah, I don't think we're gonna get the zero rollout with the gravel unless we crank winds to like unrealistic levels. Sure, 50 knots. Look at those waves ripping over there. In fact, if I go brakes off, we start to roll backwards. So those are the winds we're dealing with here. I'm full brakes and I'm still rolling backwards. Help. Someone please help. Power on. So now we should be able to not only do a 0 ground speed landing, we should actually be able to do one going backwards. So I'm going to power off a little bit. There's a buddy in a buddy in an icon. So there's your 0 speed landing. Stuck it like a gymnast. We'll give a negative ground speed landing a try. I don't have high hopes. Yeah, there's full flaps. Yeah, no. She ain't gonna do it. Alright, let's switch over to the Cub and we'll give it another try. One more try in the Cub. So, in the Cub, how many flap settings do we have? We've got two settings in the Cub. So half and full, kind of like the Shock Ultra. So same thing, go ahead and apply full brakes. Oh yeah, it's not happening, it doesn't care. So a relatively short takeoff, but 0 speed takeoffs and landings, probably not gonna be a good idea in the Cub, as this one is configured. That was pretty close to 0. Let's try one more and then we'll check out the X Cub. Hello, I would like to take off. Thank you. Right in the stall horn, brakes on, Oh, there's a 0-speed landing. Can it do a 0-speed takeoff? So we got full flaps. The brakes aren't strong enough to hold the airplane. It's a near 0-speed takeoff there. And a wing strike to finish it off. All right, let's hop into the X-Cub and see what that can do. No bad marks here for the Cub. It's not a STOL aircraft by design. It's just very lightweight, so. So in the X-Cub, we've got 1, 2, 3. Well, I guess 3 flap settings, 4 if you can include up. So we're gonna go 1 notch of flaps there. Same formula. She just doesn't want to move. These brakes are a lot better than the old Cubs, so we're sitting here basically keeping the tail up on our own power. We'll go ahead and release brakes. Huge rollout, holy smokes. Okay, and full flaps. So we're stalling right now. So that's a really big rollout for the Cub there. All right, flaps up. Let's crank up the winds to you shouldn't be flying in this spec. We literally are balancing our tail in the air right now. 1 notch of flaps. I mean, look at that. We're idle power, and I can bounce the tail around. Okay, this should be a little bit better. Power on. Brakes off. Come on, girly. There we go. Come on. There we go. We'll touch. So not the best marks for the old Cub, the carbon Cub. Had to crank up winds to 60 knots to get any responsiveness. I would imagine the tricycle gear is actually going to be worse, simply because with the conventional landing gear, our chord line is higher when the aircraft is sitting on the ground like that. Whereas with a conventional landing gear Cub, your chord line is going to be a lot more like this because you're actually sitting on the nose wheel. But we won't know till we try. So let's go check out the conventional Cub. Brakes on, power up. Pull back on the stick, can't get quite in the air from a standstill. So brakes off, rolling. I am curious if, come on. Come on. I'm curious if having full flaps makes a difference. Everything in my being says no, don't do that. So we're going to try half flaps, see if we get better takeoff performance. Nope. So let's cancel that landing, or cancel that takeoff. So we're full flaps now. Same deal, full throttle. Brakes off. No, it just kind of makes the takeoff a little bit less aggressive, but it still floats you out. So, not the best marks for the X-Cub in conventional or tricycle gear. Got one more airplane I want to try out. It's not a STOL airplane, but it is an ultralight, and I would imagine its takeoff speed is really low because its cruise speed is abysmally low. We'll be right back with that guy. Full power, brakes off. Brakes off. It's honestly not too bad. Granted, again, this is an ultralight, and you would not be flying this airplane in these winds. Whoa, little gust there. And stuck the landing like a gymnast. Get a little more aggressive with the flaps this time. Run it up. Brakes off. Took off no problem. Max flaps. So we throttle down, get lined back up with the runway. And power off. Touch. Honestly, oh, tail strike. Honestly, not bad. Not bad at all. Can we do a 0-speed takeoff? We're going to go full flaps initially. From the get-go? No. Short answer, no. And touch. Oh, we're in the air. Touch. Okay, so those are all the airplanes in realism world where you wouldn't probably want to be flying in this type of wind conditions. What does the wind top out at? 150? I got an airplane in mind. We got the waves or speed indicators indicating correctly. Ready, and brakes off. Pulling back hard on the stick. Oh, look at us go. Look at us go. Come on, Airbus. Yeah. Now can we set down in equally as short of a distance? Oh my God. I need the interior view for this. Where's the end of the runway? There it is. Dead. All right. Well, that's that. Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this. Even the stupid ending part that I didn't think really would work, but kind of actually worked. All you need to do is be in a hurricane. So, the more realistic side obviously was at the beginning. So, what's your best STOL aircraft? What's your favorite STOL aircraft? What's your shortest distance of takeoff and landings at a realistic wind speed and at an unrealistic wind speed? Can you fly backwards? I kind of can. Done it once in real life, and can do it with this cheap little crappy joystick on this crappy computer I got. So anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I will catch you guys in the next video. As always, thank you so much for watching. Look at that tsunami. Oh. Oh yeah, take it easy.